Being a human being has got to be one of the most difficult tasks I've taken on thus so far in my spiritual platform. It's a place where you come down to and you forget that you're multidimensional. You forget that you're a spirit having a human experience. And the surroundings feel so real that you take it on as the only reality system in which you've ever known. The fact that you have amnesia to most of what you are inside does not help matters. So first of all, I want you to give yourself a round of congratulations that you've made it this far with yourself intact and your heart intact. With that said, someone standing before you does not know more than you do. They just may be at a different phase of the remembrance process, or they may be remembering something that they were meant to remember and then pass on to you for your remembrance. We're all here to support one another in our remembrance of our great spirit self. Not only are we here to support one another in that process, but it's easy to forget, as we're also here to assist the ego in its liberation. The ego does not identify anything outside of this reality system. And so you have two energies at odds a lot of the time inside self. Add that with experiences and you can get lost in this reality system, not knowing yourself a very long time. Hence why I'm saying you're very brave if you've come here, and you should pat yourself on the back. With that said, nobody knows more than you do. Nobody knows more than what you are inside than you. So seeking outside of ourselves or putting someone else on a platform is not a good suggestion. The purpose of each individual here can vary based on a multitude of reasons. We're not going to get into that today. So if someone presents something that says, hey, that feels familiar, or wow, I do remember that knowledge within myself, you may have placed them there. That's how powerful you are. You may have placed that person there as a totem to remind you exactly at that time in which you were reminded. So everything is moving in a timely fashion. Without the concept to understand that time does not exist. So let's play with some concepts today that I think would be a lot of fun for the remembrance of remembering your greatest self. We started talking about time frames. How are time frames working or not working on our behalf? Well, sometimes you're in a loop, and a loop occurs when you are having an emotional experience that doesn't get an opportunity to be resolved in pure love. So the ego loops it, and it loops it for you so you can identify it, see it, learn the information that was placed in there as a totem, and put pure love into it so it may expand. Something to remember about a multidimensional reality that we're all in, we've just forgotten that we're in it, is that energy cannot be destroyed. So what you do with that energy and how you masterfully come to meet up with that energy is going to vary based on your awareness of yourself as a multidimensional being having a human experience. So timelines loop on an emotional factor, right? Because the emotions are sounds and vibrations. And sounds and vibrations are really the key foundations for this world in which we are playing in. With that said, you can move up timelines for the collective or you can maintain status quo in the collective based on your participation. Now, we're taught that we don't matter, that our participation in this collective consciousness does not matter. How does that sit with you? If we didn't matter in the collective, then there wouldn't be something saying we don't matter in the collective. Just a thought. Okay, so we know time is not linear. Time can loop through our emotional state. We can also time travel back to an unresolved emotional state that the ego is pointing to, that it wants to say something, it wants to express something, it wants to heal something, and not healing from a place of it's broken and so it needs to be healed. It wants to be heard, and it wants to identify how to be heard so it can come into completion as well. So you're here having a human experience and you're spiritual, and I think it's really cool. I'm here with you. And as we traverse these situations together, and there are many, and they're multidimensional, and we're getting to know our multidimensional self again together, I'd like to leave you with this one thing that I thought was really cool. There was a time they talked about that this world was based in Atlantean and Lemurian frequencies. And frequencies go back into that sound and vibration thing we were talking about, how everything is sounds and vibrations, and frequency is the tonality, right, of what we truly are. So even though I'm forming it in conversation and you're looking at me, pure love is a tone, it's a sound, right? And we know this because those crystal bowls, right, resonate sounds, and there are chakras in the system, and those chakras resonate in sounds. So I'm going to share a sound with you, but before I do that, I want you to consider that you are beginning to remember your multidimensional self. And in that remembrance is an opportunity to bring in the good. So we could look at this world and we could see all the things that are wrong with it. We didn't come here to do that. The news did, right? So we look at the news, and the news wants to tell you everything wrong with our world and what to fear and what to be uncertain about. But what we came here to do is bring our essence, our love, our pure love, light, sounds, and vibrations to this earth. Here is mine, and I thought I'd share it with you guys today so we could vibe out together. Ready? Thanks for listening.